Hey, what's up guys? This is Travis Thundercloud, and today I'm just coming to you guys with a very special video. Today I'm showing you my setup for my conservative style Storm PvP. My deck setup and my gear setup of the style PvP. And I think you guys will find it very helpful in this style to give Storm kind of an advantage in this. So let's just start off with the deck that I use. I use the Lightning Riders deck because it gives the extra 2 damage. In this style of conservative storm PvP, I guess it's mainly based around damage. In PvP, 15 health is always helpful, but the 2 damage is the main reason why I use it, and that's why I call it the damage deck. So basically, let's just jump right into it. So I have 6 tower shields just for universal blocking or shielding yourself. Mainly towards balance though, because I face a lot of balance in PvP, so tower shields are always helpful to have on hand. Volcanic shields, 4 of them, just in case I fight a storm or fire. It's always helpful to have these. Colossal and Gargantuan, I have 6 of each because when I want to enchant like a Triton or a Wild Bull or something like that, I always want to have like one of these in hand. So Conviction, I have 4 of these in. If you don't have Conviction trained already, I would recommend training it, like getting a training point from somewhere and training it. You get it from Diego Duelmaster. I trained this because with this style of Storm PvP, if you don't have enough block to block over people with like 500 crit or something like that, this Conviction is really helpful with that because it gives you an extra 90 block, and that's always helpful. Get some treasure card convictions or stuff like that. Conviction of some kind to help you out, and it helps you from like stun. It gives you stun resistance, and that's great because if someone uses stuns like either myth stun or ice freeze, you always have that stun resistance so they can't stun you. 4 infallibles because in case I need extra accuracy or extra piercing. 6 healing currents because I always want to have a heal on hand just in case somebody lands like a lucky crit on me and I need to heal myself back up to full health. I know there's a chance to get that 100, but I usually get the 400 or 1000 because it's 2 out of 3 that you're going to get those ones. So it's always in the odds. You have good odds with these. 5 Krakens because Kraken is a really good 4-pip spell. I think it's the best after Lore Master because it does a good amount of damage. Maybe Krampus is better because it gives a minus 45, but Kraken's up there with the top ones because it does a lot of damage, around 800 with a Colossal on it. Lightning Bats because 5 Lightning Bats because Lightning Bats with me, I don't really use them as attacks. I use them to get off basically Storm Shield. So if like somebody uses a Volcanic Shield against me, I'll use a Lightning Bats to get it off because they're only 2 pips. It's only 1 power pip and I'll get it back next turn because I have a 100% power pip chance. So I just use that for those reasons. I like to have 5 of them in just in case I need one really quickly. 5 Tritons because Triton is my main hit in my main deck because Triton with a Colossal on it does 1000 base, and that's just a lot of damage possible. Along with my damage regular, it does around 2000 if they have bad resistance, so that's really good. I have 8 Wild Bolts in because I always want to have a Wild Bolt on hand just in case I don't have the Lightning Bats. I usually use Wild Bolts either to get off Storm Shields or for a quick hit at the beginning of a match to do a good amount of damage. Hopefully hits the 1000, but if not, whatever, it's still a hit, does some damage. So yeah, 5 Shadow Strikes because I usually use this to pierce through resistance, and it gives me an extra 10 damage. And as I said before, the main focus of this PvP style is damage, so focusing around damage, it gives me an extra 10 damage and it pierces through most people's resistance, so that's really good. So I have 5 of these in just in case I get a Shadow Pip and I want to use one of these. So yeah, now on to my treasure card deck. I have 2 stun blocks in. I usually use these against like Ice and Myth because Myth usually uses, from what I've seen, either Basilisk or Ballot. I don't really know how to pronounce that, but it's like the dragon one where it stuns you for a round and then it does overtime, or Medusa. And I use this because it basically breaks their style of PvP, and then they have to adjust to it, and that takes some time for them, and I can just get off some hits while they're adjusting to it. 6 tower shields, because as I said before, it's always good to have tower shields on hand ready to use. 2 pierce, because if you don't have like a wild bolt up or a wand hit up or something like that, the pierce is always good. But I don't usually draw these from a treasure card, but if I do, I'll use it. 2 infections, because if you do a big hit, you're going to want to make sure they don't heal all of it back, especially people with life mastery, or if you're facing a life, you don't want them to heal all of that damage back. So put an infection on them. I have 2 of those in. 2 cleanse charm, just in case I'm facing like a fire and they use Ifrit, I can just cleanse charm it off without wasting any pips of mine. So that's good too. 2 dark winds, just in case I need to change the bubble. It's mostly with ice, because with them, if they get their bubble up, it does plus 40% damage to all their spells, and that's really strong. So I'd rather have my bubble up than their bubble. It's only 1 power pip, so I guess it's worth it. The King Artorias, I have 3 of those. I enchant it with the lower version of this Extraordinary. It's called Unstoppable. I just go in and enchant these in the unicorn way. Enchant these, pretty easy to do, and it's really helpful because it gives 15 armor piercing, and that's just base piercing added on to my original pierce. So that's good. I do the same with my Storm Owl. I have 3 of those in. Now with these, I just bought a bunch of Tritons at the bazaar. As you can see right here, it does around 920 to 1,000, so that's really good in case I don't have a Triton in my hand and I don't have enough to do King Artorias and the match is about to end, so I can just end them quickly with this. 4 Black Mantles, just in case I need to stop them from hitting, and 3 weaknesses in case I'm fighting like a death and they use overtime spells or an ice, because this does weakness to all of their overtime spell. So yeah, now onto my gear. Let me just show you the stats of my gear. With my gear and my pet, I have 109 damage, 26 resistance, and 19 accuracy. So pretty well balanced stats. As you can see here, I'm going mostly for damage, because damage is pretty infallible. 352 crit. I crit moderately. Like I have I think 60% chance to crit, something around there, and 229 blocks, so that's pretty decent block. Along with the conviction, that's around 300 block, so I'm not too worried about that. 106 power pip chance. I always get power pips. 27 incoming, 17 outgoing. That does around, what is it, 44 incoming healing altogether, and 15 armor piercing. So as you can see, pretty well balanced stats. If my pet gets proof instead of defy, I'll have 31 resistance, and that's just going to be even better. So yeah, so now onto my gear. I use Clinker from Olympus Brim. I switch around my gear a lot. I just mix and match whatever I need to, but I'm just showing you the basic of what I use. So I use Clinker from Olympus Brim because it gives me accuracy and it gives me some good damage, some pretty well balanced stats, and good health boost. I use Black Thunder Armor, as you can see, because it has pretty balanced stats, 25 damage, such. Black Thunder Walkers, because it gives accuracy, gives good health. That's what I mainly use the Black Thunder Walkers for. Gives health, good health, and it gives resistance, incoming healing. Pretty well balanced, as you can see. I bought the Staff of Flashing Bears because it gives me the accuracy, power pip chance, and it has a pretty well balanced crit and crit block. I know it's pretty low, but it works for me because with the accuracy and power pip chance, it balances out in my book. Blade of the Fell Titan, because this is just a pretty well balanced Thane. I have the Amulet of Divine Influence. If you don't have that, I would recommend the Amulet of the Lost Horizon. That gives 489 health, because it gives a lot of health, and along with that you'll have a 3,700 health as a storm, so that's good. And Alpha and Omega Ring, because it's balanced. As you can see, most of my gear I'm going balanced stats, not too much of this, not too much of that, just balanced stats. I use my Source Sugar. I have a pet, let me just show you Miss Bubba. I have a pet. She has the option of getting proof instead of defy on Miss Sugar, and she has the option of getting 10% dealer instead of 8%, so that would be really good in my favor, so I'm hoping that happens. But for right now. I use Miss Sugar because she gives 3 damages, fairy, and she gives resist, so that's good for me. So yeah, anyway, that's what I use for PvP. I saw somebody ask me to do this type of video, and I was like, why not? Haven't done one in a while. So this is basically my level 95 storm gear and deck setup. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and if you watched through the whole video, thank you so much. Comment what you think of this, and comment what you think of my stats and all that. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.